welcome back. I'm Leandra, and this is a vlog dedicated to pampering myself, having self-care, and just relaxation for the next 24 hours. For those of you who haven't been around in the last week or two, I did end up getting COVID, and it was the worst. That's all I'll say, is that it was not a fun time, and it definitely made me want to reprioritize taking care of myself and just making sure I take time to relax and breathe, do the hobbies I love. I don't have to be working 24/7 to feel fulfilled and to make sure that I'm living the best life that I have. And unfortunately, during my stint with COVID, I ended up missing Kirsten the Reading Nymph's Relax and Readathon. She does this every other month. It's 24 hours, and it truly is designed to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and just give yourself 24 hours to prioritize your own health and your own needs. And I love it so much. I was so excited to participate in it last Saturday, which would have been the 15th of February. And unfortunately, I was down for the count. I wasn't going to be able to do anything beyond just maybe laying in my bed, trying to hydrate and think good thoughts, because that's really all I did in the last week. So I've decided that just because the Readathon has passed, Kirsten and everyone else who participated had the best time. I saw it in the Discord, and I was very much inspired to honestly still do it. Why not? And so what I plan to do for the next 24 hours from 1 p.m. to 1 p.m. this Thursday through Friday, because I have off, I thought, let me just relax. So this is my makeup for the Relax and Readathon this February, and I'm so excited for it. In honor of Kirsten's Readathon, I will be using her 3x3 bingo board, and I'm really excited. I'm just going to see what I accomplish, to be completely honest. The first square that I think I'm going to do is actually the one to read a book on your TBR, because I happen to already have a manga planned for that. Thanks to Cat and Mouse, one of my bonus prompts was to add a manga or graphic novel to my TBR, and I've also been really bad about doing my TBR this month. I will blame Get a Clue, a very fun but chaotic readathon that's hosted by Rainy Blue Reads. I'm one of the hosts for Team Green, and I've been having a great time, but it has just made me throw my entire TBR out the window, except for Creepy Cat. This is by Cotton Valent, and it feels almost comic strippy, like each scene is in itself like just a fun little moment, and then you carry on. There seems to be an overarching thing as well, but I actually don't have much knowledge about this series, about this story, beyond the fact that Flora, our main character, has inherited this mansion, and what comes with the mansion is a very creepy white cat. This is what I'm going to be enjoying this afternoon, and obviously I'll be checking in with you guys very soon to confirm that I am reading this book, but I'm very excited, and thank you so much, Teresa. She's one of my Manor guests, but also just a really supportive person on this platform. I see her in sprints, and I see her participating in other readathons. So Teresa, thank you for just being a lovely part of the community in general, in addition to just gifting this to me in December for the Christmas holidays. I'm so grateful, and I'm so excited to finally relax and enjoy this little collection. Now, in honor of relaxing, treating ourselves, I also have a couple unboxings to do. The first one is going to be a pre-order that I ended up having probably maybe 6+ months ago, so I have been waiting for it, and I'm sure a lot of you know what the biggest title is that we've kind of gotten excited for in the last week or so. I ended up getting it last Friday, Saturday when I was sick, and I was like, Leandra, you aren't in the right mindset to enjoy this pre-order, so I'm gonna unbox it now. See if you can think of what it might be. All right, it's time. Yes! Were any of you correct in your guess? I ended up getting Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, and I'm so excited for it. This is also a signed copy. It honestly, when I pre-ordered it, it was the same cost as a normal edition. Look at that. Oh my gosh, what a signature. I literally can barely even read that. It's just squiggles, but I'm okay with it. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is the third book in the Emily Wilde series. I own the other two in this same edition, and I really love these hardbacks, especially because they have the beautiful illustration right on the book. You don't need a book sleeve to kind of cover up the book, and while those are great and really protective, I love the novelty of actually having the design on the hardcover itself. I can't wait to read it. I probably won't get to it during this Relax and Readathon because it's only 24 hours and I have so many currently reads that I don't think I should be adding another one. It will actually be the opposite of me relaxing during this readathon, but I'm so excited. I can't wait, and I will do my best to avoid spoilers because I don't want to know anything about this book before I actually dig in. I mean, look at that little cat. I love this so much. The covers just get better and better. All of the eyeballs, what is that about? I'm so pumped. But we also have one more unboxing that I am even more excited about because this is a first for me as a very small YouTuber on this platform. I have an unboxing with Ana Luisa. This is a sustainable jewelry brand that I am just flabbergasted how kind they've been, especially when reaching out and trying to reach small booktubers like myself. And the more I learn about this company, the more excited I am that I get to talk about them and that they kindly ended up sending me 2 pieces of jewelry that I get to unbox and showcase to you all. Ana Luisa has one of the best focuses when it comes to who they prioritize, their customers, but also the planet. So not only are these jewelry pieces hypoallergenic, but they also protect the environment. So Ana Luisa is a carbon neutral brand, but they're also climate neutral certified and they 100% offset their own carbon footprint. I am so proud of them and so impressed that they are showing other companies out there that you can do it all, that you can provide a sustainable product that makes people happy without harming the environment, without sacrificing the carbon footprint that most companies just don't really care about. I mean, the packaging alone, there's a reason why I'm unboxing it so that you all can see how compact it is. And even here, it reminds us this is not trash. Like, we need to make sure that we are doing our part just like this company is. So as soon as I unbox this, I will be getting rid of the cardboard sustainably and making sure that it gets recycled. So yeah, thank you so much, Ana Luisa, for doing this. Without further ado, let me actually show you the jewelry. Oh, look at it! Oh my gosh, it's so cute! Okay, I love the packaging. Again, do you see this? All cardboard. This is sustainability, people. Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed. Look at that. Oh my gosh, what a simple piece, but I'm absolutely obsessed. And then here is the second one, a very simple chain. Also, these were chosen by me, and I can't wait to try them on. What's really lovely is that the jewelry is pretty affordable. It starts as low as $39. So if you wanted to go check out in the description the link, then you will be able to have that. And honestly, just to show Ana Luisa how much we support and appreciate their support in return, it's really amazing how kind and patient they were, especially because, as I mentioned, I had COVID. Like, I literally was supposed to highlight this jewelry company about a week or so ago, and as soon as I checked in with them telling them, hey friends, I am so sick, I have COVID, is there any way that we can actually do this later? You know what my contact said? Take care of yourself first. That needs to be priority. We can push things back, and I'm so grateful. So as mentioned, please show them some support, show them that we appreciate how they put the person first. I feel as though there are a lot of really simple pieces on their website, not just necklaces. I'm obviously someone who prefers necklaces to anything else, so that's why I ended up getting 2 pieces, and I think they actually look really cute together. I really love how they balance each other out. I think that if you're someone who has a lot of statement pieces, these also can work for you like really well, but there are earrings, there's rings and bracelets and everything else under the sun at their website. And like I said, you are supporting a company that knows what to prioritize: the environment, people's health. Again, these are hypoallergenic and also long lasting. They're beautiful, they're very classic, and I'm so pleased with it. I will admit that maybe this isn't the best shirt because with the chain, it's definitely giving Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. That's my fault. That is not Ana Luisa's fault. But you know what? We're gonna rock it because he was a trendsetter and I'm here for it. Okay, without further ado, let me go read some creepy cat and then I will update you guys on what I do next. I still can't get over I am Dwayne. Call me The Rock. I'm gonna be in the next Jumanji movie, guys. I'm really pumped about it. Oh, I crack myself up. Oh, I literally just finished this in one sitting, and this was such a delight. Honestly, for those who need a palate cleanser and are feeling a little bit spooky, want a, reminiscent Addams Family kind of vibe, I can recommend this. So as I think I mentioned, Miss Flora, our main character, she has just inherited a mansion, and our creepy cat, who can multiply, by the way. This is not, just some crazy art choice. Like, this cat can actually multiply and be many cats. And what's weird is when it chooses to stop multiplying, the cats walk into its own mouth. That was a certain kind of image I wasn't expecting. But what I really love about it is there's definitely supernatural elements to this story where the cat feels as though it's either paranormal or maybe a bit out of this world. An alien cat that is also, suggested in this storyline. We have a police officer who has fallen for Flora and keeps trying to get her attention, and she just keeps basically shutting the door in his face and focusing all of her attention on her creepy cat. We meet more cats by the end of this story, and it kind of ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. There's far more complexity to this world than I expected, but the way it's designed, as I predicted, is far more comic panel-esque, where we have episodes. For instance, there is a moment in which she loses her keys, and so she is searching, and basically within 3 panels she discovers that the cat is simply sitting on the keys, which I think a lot of cat owners can relate to, and this is totally a storyline for the cats. I mean, even look at this panel right here. She's just playing a toy with the cat, and then when the cat gets bored, she's like, what else could he be wanting to play with? And of course, creepy cat is like, hair? Let me play with that because it's attached to your human body and that won't hurt or anything. So here's the keys one. So you can see here that is just under the cat, as if the cat is like one of those like frog statues that you put like your spare key in, or at least that's what I see all the movies and TV shows do. But yeah, I found this delightful, a very quick palate cleanser read. What a great way to spend my afternoon. But now I have to figure out what I'm gonna do next. All right, well, according to the Relax and Readathon square, I chose that upper corner, which is really excellent because it provides me with a lot of opportunities to get a bingo. I could totally continue a series, and that would likely be with another manga. I'm kind of in the mood for Cat Plus Gamer. I have the 6th volume thanks to Vanessa from Reads with Dr. B. Honestly, this entire Relax and Readathon is me just being loved by so many people. I mean, Teresa gave me this. Ana Luisa ended up giving me these things. Then I gifted myself in the past the compendium, the 3rd book in Emily Wilde. So I think that's the theme of this very lovely 24-hour vlog, is simply just being taken care of and appreciating the gifts that I myself have given myself, but like others in the community have. So yeah, I definitely want to read that in honor of Vanessa because that was really sweet of her to gift me that book. And we'll see what else I could get up to, but maybe I'll pause, enjoy a bit of a cozy hobby. I have definitely been in a Sims mode. Like, honestly, I feel as though all of my B-roll these days is just me playing Sims, and I'm not mad at it, so I might do that. I might play some Sims. I also might have to change out of my Dwayne outfit because every time I look at it, I cannot. So yeah, let me get situated, get cozier, and I think I'm gonna pause and play some Sims. Why not? Okay, no more The Rock commentary. No more, can you smell what The Rock is cooking? We're fine. Now I'm gonna go start cooking in The Sims because that's one of my favorite things to do. right, all of my Sims live to see another day. Unfortunately, I did lose some chickens. I promise it was old age. It just was really bad timing. As soon as I got all comfy, cozy, my characters were doing the most mundane task like cooking, or maybe they were doing homework, suddenly the entire game would pan over to the chicken coop and the Grim Reaper was taking another one of my chickens, and I was like, this is really hurting the vibe, but okay, fine. You know what? That's part of life. We're gonna move on from that. I ended up having to halt my gameplay a little bit early because with Sims, I don't know about anyone else, especially when it comes to like video gaming or even puzzling, any type of hobby that I have, I end up getting sucked in and suddenly hours go by and I realize, what have I been doing? So I did put a timer on my phone, only allowed myself to play an hour. I feel as though that's like the healthiest way to do it. So then you can kind of decide, do I want to switch gears? Yes, I do. I saved the gameplay and now we're going to continue with my early evening. It's actually more so late afternoon. It's about 4 o'clock my time. So we still have a lot of the day to enjoy and I have some plans. So of course I've already completed 2 prompts on this bingo board. I did the TBR, so that one was for Creepy Cat. I also, of course, continued a cozy hobby, which is playing Sims. Video gaming is kind of a pastime for me, but very casually. Like, I'm not a hardcore gamer. I probably play 2 or 3 games and then I restart and just go back and redo them all. And that's kind of how I like to gameplay. But now I need to figure out what I'm going to do next. And the one that I think is really easy, that'll get me into the mood of having a very cozy, comfy, relaxing evening is actually lighting some candles. I don't know if you can tell, but I have these beautiful blueberry candles and they're kind of 3D. They smell amazing. I wish I could transfer smell from my apartment to your home because they smell so good and they're not even lit yet. This is actually a recurring gift from my mother because she knows how much I love these, and it's a friend of hers who makes these, sells them. She sells a bunch of crafts and other things, but one thing that I end up being a repeat buyer for is these candles, and I can't wait. They're going to put me in the perfect mood to relax. I've got my, what are they called? Matches. Everyone be safe when it comes to lighting candles in your home. I've got my matches and I'm gonna let them burn for most of the night, which will be really lovely because, like I said, it's going to make my entire apartment smell lovely. And while those are burning, I have 2 books to keep me company. We'll see how far I get into the one because it's my short book, but in reality it's still a novel. So the fact that I'm starting it for a 24-hour vlog, probably not the smartest thing, but that one is going to be a trinket for the taking. This is by Victoria Laurie, and I'm really lucky to have received an ARC for this, but of course, because my life is a bit of a mess, I hadn't started it. The book's out. I have the library copy from my library. I'm very fortunate to have that, and now I'm just going to enjoy it. It's about 280 something pages, so it is quite short, but at the same time, it's a bit more than I should ask myself to read in 24 hours, so I'm not promising anything. We'll see. If I end up being hooked and enjoying myself, I may, but it also might just have to be a book that I taste test, and then you all can be a judge and decide if you are interested in enough to pick it up before I even finish the book. This is really interesting. It is a fantasy mystery. It's also on my TBR for the month of February, so I'm really happy that I'm finally getting to it. It ends up following Dovey, who is celebrating her 200th birthday in the opening chapter. From what I can tell on the inside flap, this ends up being a mystery in which Dovey has to figure out what's going on with this specific family, a prominent family in the DC area. They're all dying. All of them are dying from their worst fears as well. Clearly something or someone is attacking them, and it's up to Dovey to figure out what's going on. I'm really intrigued to see how casual this kind of urban fantasy environment ends up being for me, because I don't typically read that kind of thing. But so far, 1 chapter in, I am enjoying myself. And this is going to count for a short book. Whether I finish the book or not, I think I'm going to check it off because I've started a short book during this vlog. And then what I'm thinking is I'm going to end my night with Cat Gamer Volume 6, as I said. So yeah, thank you again, Vanessa. I'm so excited. I mean, guys, look at this. And then the back has a dinosaur. I can't wait. I also have Dinosaur Sanctuary Volume 5 on my TBR pile, but I probably won't get to that because I'm trying to just relax and enjoy myself. But I love that I was just gaming, and now later this evening I'm going to read a book where a 29-year-old woman who now owns 2 cats is trying to level up in her cat owning skills. She pretty much treats it like a game, learning how to care for these cats and then watching them evolve as well as they get older. And it's adorable. It's ultimate cozy, ultimate low stakes, no stakes, in fact. And I'm really pumped. So yeah, that's my plan for this evening. I've got 2 amazing cozy books, and then I've got these candles to light. We'll see what else I get up to, but for now, those are my plans, and I cannot wait. I am only 20 pages into A Trinket for the Taking, and I think I need to switch gears. I don't know what's going on. I have actually started this book previously, back in 2024. I read a chapter, found it light and kind of easy, but it still wasn't really, in my interest at the moment. Put it down. I've since reread the chapter, and I don't know, there's a lot going on, and maybe I just need a changing of pace. I'm still not ready for how fast-paced this book is, because it's basically asking us to accept a lot in a very short amount of time. I mean, we start off running. Our main character, Devi, as I mentioned, is celebrating her 200th birthday, and so the author is giving us her entire backstory in the first chapter, while also asking us to be able to process what her job description is in the present and what her new task, her new job is going to be when it comes to this trinket that is missing. Meanwhile, we haven't even gotten to the point where the family members are dying. I don't know when that's actually gonna come into play, but I'm also hesitant continuing with this narrative because I find there to be a really strange power dynamic between Devi and her boss Elric back, 182 years ago, when she had just turned 18, her 18th birthday. Of course, that's when Elric comes around, ends up winning her in a gambling bet between her father and himself. Her father is this close to ruin because Elric has taken him and the other men at the party for everything that they own. And Elric says, let's do one more game, and if I win, then all I do is take your daughter, and if I lose, then you get to keep your daughter and you get all of the winnings doubled because I'm so rich and I can play around with money that way. Of course, Elric wins, and he takes her, Devi, at 18 years old, back to his home. They immediately begin a sexual relationship, and she is dependent on him for the next 182 years. She's bound to him. He ends up performing this spell, giving her immortality, but also tying her life to his in this kind of weird way. And now, with so much time having passed, he has trusted her and given her more agency than she would usually have, basically. She's still not free, but she's allowed to live in her own apartment. She's allowed to earn money by working for the company that he owns, which is, getting these magical trinkets, either because they've been stolen, they've been, fallen into the wrong hands, into the unbound, which are just normal people. And meanwhile, we have this really powerful man barge into their office, and he is part of a different court. So he works for and lives for a different mystic that isn't Elric from Eastern Europe. Well, no, I guess it's a man who has been residing in Rome for 1200 years. Anyway, like I said, there's a lot that we're being asked to process and understand, but he comes to Elric saying, hey, I was in your city. We were negotiating things, and I brought a trinket with me. It was one of the Pandora's promise, and now someone's stolen it. We need to get it back. And I'm assuming that moving forward, Elric is going to have Devi be on the case. Like I said, I don't really know how this is blending together with the idea of a family dying from their worst fears. So I'm there's a lot, but I don't know. I don't think I'm intrigued enough. I don't think I'm invested enough. And I am sure / hoping that Victoria, our author, is aiming to have Dovey go on this journey and realize how unhealthy her relationship is with Elric, how the fact that like she's so devoted and dependent on him is not a benefit, is not a relationship that she should like. It even has been mentioned that every bound person has some type of curse on them, and her curse is that whenever Elric asks her how she's feeling, she must be honest and mention her feelings towards people around her, including him. And so I'm imagining that at one point her feelings about him are not going to be positive anymore. But at the same time, I don't know. I'm not currently in the mood for it. So I think I should put it down. We're just going to put it down, and I'm going to pick up another book that will be slower paced and a little bit more like something I'm in the mood for. And that is a book that's actually on my purchased TBR for 2025. The Mystery of the Cape Cod Players by Phoebe Atwood-Taylor. I have really wanted to try this author so badly. I own another title by her in the same AZ Mayo detective fiction series, but I ended up seeing this last time I was at the bookstore, and I ended up having a gift card for Christmas from my parents, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna go about the bookstore and just buy a few books and enjoy them. So while this is on my purchase TBR, it's also kind of not, because it's not my own money. I'm kind of more categorizing it as a gift, but I'm really excited for it, and I think that this is probably going to work out better for me. Also, that cover. I feel like that cover is just, the design of it, the tone of it is the vibe I'm going for this Relax and Readathon makeup session, and the back seems really interesting. When the Cape Cod players roll into towns along the Lower Cape, the locals expect a great show, replete with games, magic, and merriment. Of course, they usually have an audience too. That's not the case when, as the result of a nasty trick, the troupe arrives in the rural backcountry expecting a paying gig, but they're lucky enough to find a night's lodgings with a Boston widow who invites them in. Then day breaks to find the lead magician with a bullet in his head, and Victoria realizes the cruel trick that brought the travelers to her home may have been part of a deadly plot, and she an unwitting participant. Enter AZ Mayo, Cape Cod's answer to Sherlock Holmes. Armed only with folksy wisdom, Cape Cod dictums, and plenty of common sense, the jack of all trades is quick to tackle the puzzling case of the murdered performer. See, I feel like this is something I'm really into. And it's also still a pretty short novel. Actually, it's shorter. It's only 228 pages. So maybe I should have started with this. But yeah, I think that this is just more up my alley right now compared to A Trinket for the Taking. And I'm excited to dig into this. So yeah, the evening is still young, but I thought I would give you guys an update that I might as well quit while I'm behind and try something else. Good morning! It is probably an hour away from 12 o'clock, so I only have about 2 more hours left in this 24-hour readathon makeup, and I need to confess something. I fully planned to actually start this book last night, and as soon as I updated you all, I ended up having dinner. I had this really lovely like lentil soup, and I ended up watching 3 episodes of Rosemary and Thyme. I ended up playing Clueless, which is pretty much like a travel version of like crossword solitaire. I ended up playing some more of it this morning because I realized, this would actually be a really fun game to show you guys that I'm playing it, and I didn't really want to like record myself playing it last night, so I got distracted. I also ended up chatting with my family for an hour and a half. I was just on the phone with my parents, catching up with them, confirming that I was better, and just talking about everything under the sun. So I ended up being exhausted last night. I was like, I could, as planned, pick up Cat Plus Gamer Volume 6, but I was like, Leandra, you're gonna fall asleep. So I ended up going to bed. It still was just before midnight. I need to get better about going to bed earlier. But you know what I did this morning? I ended up deciding to wear this as a bit of a bracelet. I played a couple rounds of Clueless, and then that's so funny. Clueless, clue, but Q-less. That's what it is. It's anyways, Q-less, because there's no Q in this game, by the way. I ended up starting my morning with that, and then I spent an hour reading Cat Plus Gamer Volume 6, and it is just so adorable. Unfortunately, no dinosaur did show up, but like, look at these cats. They are so freaking adorable. I find this to be one of the most comforting manga series that I just stumbled upon. I remember I ended up grabbing it from the library during the original Get a Clue Readathon, actually, so November 2023. I just grabbed a bunch of manga from my local library, and this was on the shelf, and now it's one of my tried and true. Every time a book comes out, I either pre-order it or make sure to take a special trip to the bookstore to buy it because of how much I love it. And I love the adventures that these characters go on, mostly within their own apartment. Within this woman's apartment, she's learning about herself from her cats, and more we are getting chapters where the cats themselves get to talk to each other, and it's really adorable. So yeah, thank you again, Vanessa, for kindly buying this for me. You have been a lovely friend in the past year, and I really appreciate you. So yeah, this is going with all of the other Cat Gamer manga that I have, and I cannot wait to just keep rereading it whenever I need something comforting. So that means if we are looking at the Relax and Readathon bingo board, I have gotten a couple bingos. So the first bingo was when I read Creepy Cat and then lit a candle, because that center square, to my understanding, is simply participating. You get the middle square for, relaxing and taking the time to do so. So that diagonal line ended up counting. And then I ended up doing a cozy hobby, played some Sims last night or yesterday afternoon, and I continued a series with Cat Gamer. So I have another, bingo line from top to bottom. So that means no matter what I do for the next 2 hours of this readathon, I've been successful. I've had a really great time. I've relaxed, and even though I didn't read nearly as much as I wanted to, I'm still really proud of myself, and I fully intend to start this. I will do that. So we'll have one more check-in. I'll be sure to start this, and I'll at least let you guys know what my initial thoughts are. And I also probably have some more plans for the day if I pause to think about it. I definitely want to update my bullet journal because March is just around the corner at this point, and I really would like to be ahead when it comes to my March spreads, because usually I'm very behind and I'm doing my monthly spreads within the first week of that month, which is totally fine. It's not the biggest deal. This is simply, for my own enjoyment and being able to track stats that I'm interested in. But still, you put pressure on yourself, you put expectations on yourself, and then that's where the stress comes from. I also meant to paint my nails, which I never did. but maybe I can do that this weekend because it is Friday, by the way, which is very exciting. It's also the start of a weekend of many events for the Manor, but also just for the TBR-athon Discord. I decided to try out a mini TBR-athon similar to Relax and Readathon, inspired by Relax and Readathon, where it's only going to be 48 hours. So I'm going to personally start at 5 p.m. today, and then I'm going to go until 5 p.m. Sunday. It's only going to be held in the Discord. I'm probably going to hold Discord sprints even, so it's not going to be any added pressure to myself. And I created my own bingo board 3x3 that's called Pause and Bingo. Just honestly, no work at all beyond designing it, because I pulled a bunch of prompts, revamped them a little bit from the bingo board, but also specifically from the Pause and Bookshelves game board that I had this January. And you know what? I think it's going to be a small group. It's mostly a test run to see if mini TBR-athon is a thing I'd like to do maybe every other month, and I would do it in coordination with Kirsten. So the month that she doesn't have Relax and Readathon, I typically would have mini TBR-athon. But you know what? We're playing it fast and loose, figuring things out as we go. And yeah, I also have two makeup watch parties from when I was sick. Tonight, I'm very excited. We're going to be watching My Man Godfrey. And then on Saturday afternoon, and then on Sunday afternoon, we're going to be watching Three Guys Named Mike. I've seen both of these films before. I find them to be really comforting and fun and not to be taken seriously at all, which is exactly what I need this weekend. And I hope that my Manor guests agree. I hope they have fun too. Okay, well, anyways, enough chatting. Just telling you guys what my plans are for the rest of the weekend after this readathon ends. I'm gonna go probably have a bit of a brunch, a late breakfast. Yesterday, I ended up having toast with cream cheese and I sliced up a bunch of strawberries on top, and it was really lovely. It was a nice light breakfast, and so I think I'm gonna do that again for brunch. And I'm also gonna switch to tea, because I had my cup of coffee this morning while playing Q-less, and I'm trying to not have as much coffee. I'm not necessarily trying to restrict my caffeine intake, because the next tea I have is definitely going to be Earl Grey, which is caffeinated. But especially after getting sick, these are the times I've realized that because I'm feeling awful anyway, me suddenly lessening my caffeine intake doesn't really affect me, and because I'm always worried about getting like headaches and stuff like that, and I'm trying to be better about not being too dependent on like caffeinated coffee specifically, because I think it's just stronger. I think it affects my body differently compared to caffeinated tea. So yeah, I'm gonna switch to tea for the day as well, and that'll be my hot beverage, because I didn't count the coffee as a hot beverage I didn't think about it, but I'm gonna count my next tea as that, and then I'll have another bingo. Oh my gosh, very exciting. Okay, anyways, I will chat with you all in like 2 hours. It is 1:08 on Friday. We have officially gone just over 24 hours, and so I think it's time for me to close this vlog, but I have one more update, and it's that I did officially start The Mystery of the Cape Cod Players by Phoebe Atwood Taylor, and I'm loving it. I'm only one chapter in. I'm literally 20 pages into this book, and I'm already so intrigued. It honestly just demonstrates that I was smart and correct in putting down A Trinket for the Taking, because I was only 1 chapter or 2 chapters into that book and I wasn't feeling it. Whereas this one, I'm immediately hooked. I absolutely love our narrator, Vic. She's 55 and everyone's treating her like she's this frail old lady, and she's like, stop it. Like, I have my mind, I have my body, I'm recovering from pneumonia, but like I still feel as though I've got a lot of life to live and I don't want to be controlled even by my well-intentioned like son. So she ends up going off to the Cape to rejuvenate, get her health back, which is also perfect. I should have been reading this the entire 24 hours because I was like, Vic, you and me, we are kindred spirits. She's also so funny. I really love how she is someone who doesn't really want to feel lonely or be alone, so she prefers to have people all around her. So she's got a companion named Judy who's been down on her luck, but she knows Judy's mother, and so she's decided to allow Judy to join her, give her some company while she's healing along the Cape. And Judy seems to have a really strong, willpower, and she also seems very humorous. So I like the dynamic between the two of them. And we have this servant named Rose who's boy crazy, and she's like, oh, but like, are we gonna be bored? Are we gonna be lonely? And they're like, don't worry, there are gonna be a bunch of men to entertain you. And Rose is like, okay. And I like the dynamic between these 3 women. Then the plot thickens. Like I said, it's only been 1 chapter, and we end up getting the Cape Cod players. These entertainers arrive the night that Vic and her entourage have settled in, and they're like, hey, are you the guilds? We're meant to entertain you. Are we at the right place? And they're like, sorry, you're not. But the fog has rolled in so thickly, their car's lights no longer work. Like, there's something going on with the circuit. And so they're pretty much stranded. There's no way for them to drive back to town, to get directions, figure out what's going on. And so Vic has decided to let them stay the night. She's like, there's honestly nothing else you can do beyond just stay warm, stay in my vicinity for now, in my area, and we can figure things out in the morning. And so they have this really jovial night. You get to know these entertainers, and they're quite fun. They're lighthearted. They seem to all get along. And then the next morning, our narrator, Vic, decides to go on, a brisk walk. She exits their cottage and ends up finding one of these entertainers killed. He's been shot in the night. And it all starts to make sense. She thought she was hearing the cars backfiring because they were trying to fix it. And now she's like, one of those backfires was actually a gunshot. And that's where the chapter ends. So it makes sense. It's a very short narrative, so of course it's going to be fast paced. But I love that all of that's only happened in 1 chapter. And then unfortunately I have to end here. Of course I'm going to keep reading. Of course I'm going to have the best time with this book. I can already see it. But with Relax and Readathon only being 24 hours long, I want to honor it and close the vlog here. But don't worry, I will be continuing it. And actually my plan is to have an extended relaxation weekend with pause and bingo. So I'll definitely be reading this during the weekend as well for that vlog. So if you are so intrigued and you want to know my thoughts, don't worry, another vlog is going to be coming, and it should be short and sweet, just like this one. I think it's going to be short and sweet. With that said, I did pause a lot. I was very chatty these 24 hours, and I fully blame the fact that I finally feel like myself and I finally feel healthier. So it's really lovely that that's the case. But yeah, thank you all so much for spending 24 hours with me. I ended up being pretty productive, and I ended up accomplishing quite a bit on this 3x3 board. So thank you so much, Kirsten, for allowing me to take advantage of it. And even though I didn't get to participate with you and the others this past weekend, it felt as though you were with me anyway. I also was able to finish 2 books, 2 manga that were on my shelves. Creepy Cat, all thanks to Teresa, still adorable, still lovely, so excited that I own it, and I'm gonna have to look into other volumes. I was also able to continue a manga series, Cat Gamer Volume 6, and of course there was like a little bit of an advertisement for Volume 7, so I'm already excited for that. I don't know when it comes out though, but either way, thank you so much again, Vanessa, for gifting me that, and also thank you to myself, because I ended up gifting this to myself via a gift card from my parents, so thank you to my parents. There's a lot of thank yous going around. And also thank you so much to Ana Luisa, because I'm actually obsessed. I'm obsessed with this. I love how versatile it's been, and I feel as though you've weirdly seen me in a lot of outfits in these 24 hours, like 3 different shirts, and I think it complements all of them very well. I highly recommend that you check out the link in my description. Like I said, this is a lovely company that focuses on sustainability, on taking care of its patrons, on those who end up buying from their website. It honestly feels really long lasting. It's really going to match all of my wardrobe. There's also gold pieces too. I'm just someone who leans silver because that's kind of my preference. And they also, I cannot emphasize this enough, were kind enough and understanding to immediately have me postpone this vlog until I was ready to do it, until I was ready to enjoy the jewelry that they sent me. So like, for that alone, please click the link, check them out, and see if there's anything you want to buy yourself, gift yourself, or gift your loved ones, because they also deserve to have really lovely pieces of jewelry that they know came from the heart, not just only your heart, but also Ana Luisa. So, all right, thank you so much to my manor guests. I really appreciate you all. I cannot wait for this weekend. I cannot wait to watch My Man Godfrey this evening with you, because it's happening. I've waited too long. It's gonna happen. And I also really hope to see everybody in the next one. All right, if you need another cozy vlog, I'll have one here, but also feel free to take care of yourselves. Walk away from the screen, and yeah, just have the loveliest time wherever you are, whenever you find this. Okay, bye everybody.